Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Can we talk with Monique? Hi, I'm Monique. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe. And guys, share these videos with other people because you never know, it may benefit someone. So this particular upload is about narcissism awareness. Beware on YouTube. And so, why I wanted to talk about this is because I've been through my own journey, and this for me, I take it very seriously. Um, I This is my ministry, this is my testimony, and my goal is to help others who have been in similar situations to encourage them that they may find their purpose and come out of some of those horrible situations that can devastate one's life, especially as it relates to narcissism, toxic relationships, and the like. And so, one of the things that I've noticed, I've been on YouTube watching videos for about maybe a year and a half now. And truly, I think there's information out there that is so valuable. And a lot of us didn't even know what we were dealing with until we came across some YouTube videos. But one of the things, as I'm healing and going through the process of rediscovering self, um, healing mentally, physically, and emotionally, I'm starting to notice some things. And there's some YouTubers I watch all the time. I think their content is great, they're encouraging. But one of the things YouTube is, is a part of the progression. So my thought process is some of these videos where we used to watch them all the time and binge watch them, we should be progressing to where we're not being as dependent on the videos. There's some people I watch every time they upload something, I make sure I watch it. But we should not be becoming dependent. We should be progressing. And one of the other things that I've noticed is just when, our population is sort of a vulnerable population. And there are narcissists who are out here online, um, watching, learning the lingo, and trying to figure out how they can capture other prey. And then, unfortunately, some creators have some narcissistic tendencies. I think we all have some, but some may be narcissists themselves. And so we have to be aware. And let me tell you some of the things I've seen, because I subscribe to multiple type of channels, not just narcissism type channels. I home decor, um, watching little animals and dogs, inspirational channels, painting, just different channels. And as a result of going through my journey and learning about boundaries, I'm able to pick up on certain things and you start to see certain patterns. And one of the things we just need to, like I said, I think this population sometimes is vulnerable, especially those of us who have been in domestic violence situations too, because narcissism, personality disorder, those of us who live with people or have family members, it's abuse. So this is a vulnerable population. And unfortunately, there are individuals who are, that's why when you're going through your journey and you're picking therapists and psychologists and of that nature, you have to be careful who you pick because some of these individuals will prey on you as well. And I've seen it on YouTube. Let me give you an example. I've seen people and manipulative behavior. They may or may not be narcissists, but we have to be vigilant in a sense, and not hyper vigilant, but vigilant. And we need to use our discernment as to who we're watching and what content we're watching and what we're absorbing. For instance, I've seen one channel I just came across and I watched it and I had subscribed. And then the next thing I knew, this person was ranting and raving. They wanted people to send in, I was it $1,000 to $5,000 for some land, and they started ranting and raving. I guess people must have people must have written in the comments like, well, I don't want to give that information. And they were like, oh, if you don't want to give your information, I'm going to do background checks on you. And if you don't give your information, I was like, what kind of mess is this? And I was surprised because I was like, these are grown people. You don't have to give your information. If you don't have to send your money in, you know, um, just very manipulative. At one point, one video, the person was very calm, and the next minute they were like, yes, and if you don't send your money in, and yes, I'm gonna do background checks. And I'm saying to myself, excuse me, unsubscribe. And that's the beauty about YouTube. You can unsubscribe from people, but if it's not serving your spirit and your gut and your intuition says that don't sound right, I just unsubscribe these days. I don't even care. And so that was one instance. Another instance was another channel. I still watch them, but I think there was some issue with one of the subscriber's daughter. The person who had the channel, their daughter got in trouble, and they were on the YouTube crying, saying they needed money to help them to get a new apartment because there was some issue with um, I guess maybe the boyfriend had gotten involved with some illegal activity with drugs. And I saw that online and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Um, and then I just recently watched um, the same person's mother kind of get upset because, I guess there are trolls here on YouTube, but when you put your personal life out there and tell your story, as brave as it may be, you open yourself up to judgment, good, bad, or indifferent. You can't then get up on YouTube, I guess you can, and then get upset, and say, well, and no one should call anyone out of their name. They should not. But when you put your life and your business out there, you got crazy folks and you got folks who will just say whatever they feel. And that's a part of being a YouTuber. People are going to say things good, bad, and indifferent, but then you get indignant and you dedicate a whole video to get upset because of the crazy things that people say. They're going to say crazy things. And if people feel sensitive about an issue, it comes with the territory, you know. So I've seen, as it relates to narcissism and awareness, I do follow some people like Associate Direct. I think he is great. He gives great content. He's to the point. And let me be the first to say, a lot of people on their channels, they turn it almost like into a business, and they have merchandise, which I think is great. They have Patreon. You can donate if you want to. They have live chats. You can give and donate money on the live chat, which I think is great. I think that's a way your channel gets monetized, and this becomes not only a ministry for people giving their testimony, but it's a way that they can make some money because this content and this information can help people. Okay, you're giving a service to individuals, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What I recently saw, where I think because you know a lot of us have come out of situations, and I do still feel like this is a vulnerable population. I just see red flags and what I would have never saw before. But I was watching this particular channel, and this is supposed to be a person who's a therapist, and I think they have good content. But me personally, where I draw the line and what's a red flag for me, this may not be a red flag for you, but when they start asking for money to be able to purchase a camera or a computer, I think that's almost it's a red flag for me. I really don't feel as a practitioner or clinician. If you are a practitioner and a clinician with these credentials, I don't really think this particular population you should be asking for money and asking, people to purchase your laptop or your camera. People can always donate, and I think it would be fair to say You could say, you can donate, but at the same time, it's a vulnerable population, and a lot of people have not learned to say no. So they will go and donate money or give money, even if they don't have it. That's a part about some of these people are codependent. Some of these people are not aware of themselves. And I just think it's really unfair. And you have to question any individual who says that they're a clinician, but then they're asking for money to purchase a laptop. It's like, dude, get your money together, do some live chats. If people donate and you get enough money to purchase a laptop, then you do that. But I think it's really unfair to impress upon vulnerable populations like people who suffer from narcissism abuse to even mention that you need a computer, it's broke, or a camera, whatever the case may be, and then almost, in other words, you're soliciting for money. And I think that is a huge red flag. Okay. And so that's why I said we have to be aware of what's going on. Everybody can pick and choose who they want to watch and listen to as it relates to narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder and abuse and healing. But then we also have to stop and think about what we've been through, some of those signs that some of these narcissists, express. And we have to be mindful of, and use our discernment. And like I said, personally, for me, when I saw that on one of the channels, I was like, no. If you're a clinician with these degrees, yes, have your Patreon, have your Cash App. Yeah, and some people do ask where they can donate, and it's okay. Let people donate if they want to. But when you start getting on your platform and saying, well, oh, this is broken, I need this, and I need to get the money up, and I need people to donate, or, insinuating that, I just question that, because I don't think that's really ethical. I just don't. And YouTube is a platform where people, they got all type of scams and all type of, shenanigans and buffoonery going on. But when a person says that they're clearly a clinician and they're saying that they need this, it was a red flag for me. I don't know about anybody else. You can put it down in your comments. But what I'm trying to say is we need to continue to be aware. These channels, I think, are here to help. A lot of them are, but we have to always also realize on these YouTube streets that everybody is not sincere and authentic. And as you all know, the steps and the stages that these narcissists get in, they love bomb you, they make you really like them, and then once they got you hooked, they go through the devaluation stage, and then discard. But in between that time, they're manipulating, and they're also, they could be soliciting for money, and to get money. Some people, this is their job. YouTube is their job. And some people I do donate to, because I think their message and what they're providing is a service to people. But when you start to ask for money and get on these platforms and beg for money, especially if you're saying you're a clinician, right, and you're giving therapy to people, I think that's where we have to start to look and say, what's going on here? And that's what I did in my mind. So we want to continue to keep our eyes open, trust our gut, look at things for what they are worth. And when people start asking, soliciting for money, yes, they have these Cash Apps, Patreon, they can do live chats. I think that's a great way to, monetize your channel, because it is work when you're doing these videos. It does take time. But I think this population specifically is almost like, say, if you're a cancer patient and somebody gets up there and starts asking for money, you're already with and saying that they have a family member who has cancer, you're vulnerable to that. So that's what, if we all remember, the narcissists always hone in on vulnerability, where you're vulnerable. I also remember another YouTuber, they have a narcissism awareness channel, and I'm not naming any names because there's no need to. These are just examples to keep in your mind. And this was some months back. and this person had put out a video and then went on a rant that no one watched it, or that there should be more likes and all of this. And I was like, seriously? So those are the things, like the mask slips eventually. But there are some really good YouTubers out there. I think they're really sincere. You just have to choose for yourself. But these are the things that I've seen not only on the narcissism awareness platforms, but on other platforms that I'm like, mm-mm, no, ma'am, this is not appropriate. It wasn't appropriate for me. Now, other people may feel that it's okay to go and donate and take their hard-earned money. But my thing is, if you're a clinician and you're working and you're seeing all of these different clients in your office, then you should have money, or just save your money like normal, regular people do, and go and buy you a laptop or a camera or whatever it is, especially in this population. If it was another population, I may look at things a little bit differently, but in this population, and then the fact that you're saying you're a clinician is like, I am a nurse. And I would feel funny with that. Now, I'm not saying I have my own thing that I'm doing to try to help people, but I don't have a Patreon account, and not to say that I wouldn't do that, but I don't think I would mention, well, this is broken, and if you could donate and you could, I wouldn't do that, because I just don't think, for me, that that is not something that I think is ethical in this arena of folks that are just, some of us have gone through financial hell with these narcissists. Some of us have been, through really bad domestic violence and threatened our lives and animals, so this is not a population that I would be trying to get money from. But if you're offering a service, DVDs, videotapes, film, that costs money to produce, then yes, you have to ask for people to, get reimbursed for that, and then these other CDs and videos, you can share them with other people. So I think it's appropriate to ask, especially if you put money into a production or a book or something like that, yes. But if your computer and your I'm just keeping it 100% real. If your computer or your phone breaks and you a daggone clinician, and your practice is supposedly thriving, you should not even be coming on YouTube asking for money. That to me is just not where it's at. That for me, I don't think it's appropriate. And like I said, with this population, I think it's vulnerable, and so we have to continue to, you know, watch out, be aware, because there are people who do prey on individuals who have been through these particular things. And we just have to be mindful and be on the lookout for those things. And so, this month is um, Mental Health Month, Mental Health Awareness Month. And for a lot of us, our mental health and our mental health well being is so crucial and so important. And we need to continue to try to push forward, like I said, and progress. You know, um, I think these videos are here to help us, but also not for us to continue to dwell on them, to get the information, utilize them in our lives, and then move forward in the progression of living our life. They should not be a crutch. Individuals should not be manipulating us, and we should not be utilizing these people as crutches. They're here to assist, and then we move on. And it's just like even going to therapy. A good therapist is a therapist that gets you going to where you need to be. They help you, but then they push you out of the nest when it's time, just like the birds do, and you go fly birdie on your own. A bad therapist, or one that is, I feel, that is not productive or helping you, is one that wants to keep you coming to them forever. That's not that's not good. If they can't help you, then transition you to someone that can. But I really think a good therapist is going to always help you to try to move forward. So it's just like even with these videos, we find when we first learn about narcissism, we were binge watching it and just trying to watch and learn. And as we get stronger and as we, get help for any type of traumas that we've had, we should be getting stronger and then we should be moving into our purpose. And this, what I'm doing now, this is my ministry. This is my uh, purpose here, is to help others. But when I see things and I see those red flags, you best believe I'm going to bring them out, and I'm not mentioning any one particular person, but that just didn't, some of these things just didn't sit well with me. And so I'm going to bring it out. So that way you guys can be aware and you could put your, red flag thinking cap on and be like, nah, that ain't correct. That ain't kosher. Why would a person who, has a platform like this be asking for money, yet they have a thriving practice and you're dealing with this vulnerable, population. And like I said, I'm all for the Patreons, the live chats, um, you know, people buying books and DVDs and video, because you have to get reimbursed for the work you've put into it. And some people may have put their own money into it. But heck, if a piece of your equipment breaks, it's not anybody else's responsibility but yours to go ahead on and save your money up, save your coins, you know what I mean? See some more clients and then go buy your own computer. But don't be asking this vulnerable population. Some people are probably, you know, broke, filed bankruptcy, living in shelters and all type of that mess, and that they know, but then they insinuating they need money for a computer. Come on now. That ain't even right. But anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think. Am I being too sensitive? Or what do y'all think about, people on YouTube asking for money in this population? Tell me what you think. Leave it down in the comments. But my gut, I'm sticking with that. And my gut says it's not correct. And I wanted to make this video to just make people aware and for them to continue as they go, pick and choose who you want to watch. That is fine. And subscribe to whomever you want. But listen to what they're saying. And if there are things that send red flags up for you, just like in dealing with these narcissists, some of us ignored that. And then we got sucked in, and then God only knows what has happened. And now we're up here watching videos, or you're listening to me. So we have to continue to do the same thing, because these people come in all different forms and fashions. They come by way of family. They come by way of relatives. They come by way of, partners, boyfriend, girlfriend. They can come by way of your doctor or your therapist or a YouTuber. So I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. I did another video on, staying woke on these YouTube streets. I continue to say that because I see these red flags. These manipulators, these people who are out here just trying to get money. Some people are, and some things I just don't think is appropriate, especially for certain populations of people. And don't think for a minute that these narcissists are not, even with Associate Direct, he was saying how some of these narcissists, they listen to his podcast to learn. And sometimes he doesn't even give out all the, details of how to, bob and weave and get away from some of these people because they're listening. So what makes you think for a minute that some of these people, they transform themselves? I'm a believer, Lucifer transforms himself into an angel of light. What makes you think that these narcissists are not up here acting like they're trying to help folks? Seriously. And then they get in, and next thing you know, they're asking you for some money. Come on now. But anyway, stay woke, y'all. Like and subscribe, and put your comments down below and let me know what you think. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Peace.